Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about my 9th-month art check-in. This has already been 9 months out of the year and we have 3 more left. Let's get started with the video just to show you exactly how this last 3 months have been. From June to August, I would say those have been the most challenging months to create art so far this year. There's a couple of key points that I wanted to mention in this video in regards to very demanding times when you're trying to create art. I think there's a couple of things that I've noticed that I need to work on myself, and hopefully this will also give you some awareness of maybe things that you're also struggling with. And I don't know if I have the solutions to help you, but let's see if we can figure it out together, right? A couple of things that I wanted to bring up in this video was some of the things that I noticed that I feel like as a person that wants to learn and continue to build their skill in art is the lack of time management, or something that we struggle with. Maybe not a lack, but just a struggle with time management. The realization of how much work and effort you have to put into making art, and also how giving yourself like a specific goal of what you want to do within those set limits of time, and finally to how to keep yourself motivated and keep reaching to the next step is by acknowledging the very small wins. With the importance of time management, I noticed that after I come home from my very demanding day job, there are days where I have enough energy to cook dinner, help the family out, fold the laundry that's been collecting for days, and be able to clean up the kitchen and be able to read a book before bed. Those are on the days where I actually have good energy. But then the majority of the days that I've been having lately have been the days where I'm mentally drained, so tired. The last thing I want to do is my parenting responsibilities, and all I want to do is be a couch potato and watch Instagram reels mindlessly for a couple hours and eat ice cream at the same time. And of course, I've done that a couple of days because it's been a very stressful last couple of months. But anyways, I caught myself doing that, and I realized it wasn't really a good habit to have. Number one, couch rotting, as I call it. And then also, my precious time is gone watching a whole bunch of reels. To do what? What does it do? Nothing. I could literally be watching a better YouTube video that I can actually learn from, as opposed to something that I'm going to forget about in 5 seconds from a Instagram reel. I like Instagram still, but not that much. Anyway, the thing that I realized is that I have to find pockets of time to create, and I have to manage this based on my energy levels. And the reason I say that is because as a morning person, that's where most of my energy is at. And guess what? A lot of my energy is already gone when I'm at work. Even at work, I get tired in the afternoons, but if you ask me to go to work and perform in the morning, that's the best time to get me. However, Ada doesn't allow me to have time for my art. And that's something that I might have to change into my daily routine, is to possibly wake up earlier to create for myself when I do have the best energy then. I acknowledge that you need to build new habits for every season. I notice my body becomes a lot more tired towards the end of the year. And I don't know, many people say that whenever it's about to be fall, even though I live in Texas, we don't really have like a legit fall, but we have mild summers now in the fall, where you are basically already so tired. Like you just overcome the Texas heat. Now your body is like, okay, now I can chill without any Texas heat. And all I want to do is just nap around. Yes, I realize that stuff has to be seasonal, and it also has to be energy based. However, I have like small strips of time where I have very fun energy to create. And so I did manage to create on some of my days off and on the weekends and at night. Sometimes I had pushed myself to create something, even if I was feeling tired or lacked energy. And those are the times that I would either swatch or just randomly get some of the stencils that I have and just like doodle, however, or write something or work on calligraphy. I was still trying to find ways to create something despite me lacking energy and some focus. Which brings me to my next topic. I always go back to that phrase that everybody always says, draw every day. I'm sorry, drawing every day is work, but it also depends, of course, what you're working on. One thing that they forget to add on top of that phrase is that, yeah, make art every day, because making art every day is hard work. It really is. And not in the sense that it's hard, like, oh my God, it's so difficult, because of course things become easier with time. But doing the same thing every day for several hours, it is work. It's just like you're going to your day job. You have to put your time and energy in it, and of course, it's going to deplete you. And I realized when I started making art, when I was already exhausted, this is just going from one function to another. And not gonna lie, there was days that I just didn't feel like creating. I'm not gonna create anything. Even I got tired of filming YouTube videos because it is so much work. I'm just tired. It's been challenging for me the last 3 months because I don't have the energy to do a lot of things. It's depleted by the end of the day, or it's depleted within the last 3 hours after I wake up. It's a struggle. Developing technical skills, it takes time, practice, and patience, and it requires you to manage your time and resources. Your time is your resource. And it's demanding. Like you have to keep in making art every day. It's a consistent practice, and it can be difficult to keep, especially when you have a lot of other commitments happening. Yeah, people say, "Oh, just doodle here and everything." I tried that too, but I don't like my artwork when that happens. But at the same time, sometimes I do it, and maybe you can make art every day, but it might be a different version every day, not the same thing every single day. And with that, I wasn't being very mindful with my time. And because I'm not going to say I have excuses, but I do have a family to support. I do lack energy physically. I do try to make sporadic art here and there at sporadic times. And when I say I make art, it's mostly just skill building because it's all I can provide at that time. My sporadic projects and practices happen because I don't have a specific goal. I don't have a set schedule. That's something that I'm still working on. I know for a fact that if I had condensed or like broken down my goals to a little bit smaller, minor goals, then I think I would have probably achieved it a lot more. But because I generalized my goal for the entire year was just to mostly make art, I didn't really sit down and be, oh yeah, for this first couple of months, I'm going to learn how to do this. And the second, I'm going to learn how to do that. The beginning of this year, I started okay with getting into anatomy, gesture drawing. But somewhere along the way, the summer just kicked my butt. I was more in demand at work. There's just like ebb and flow to everything. Try to make a specific goal, like a minor goal for that week, like a very tiny one. I would say like make 3 artworks that week using your, let's say I want to use my pastel colors and make what, three versions or 3 different drawings of 3 flowers. I don't know, something like that. I'm just making up stuff. And that's something that I'm lacking. I too will be working on that. That brings me to my last key point in this video is that with all this being said, I noticed that I lack time management, I lack a specific goal, I lack, what was the other one? Let me look at my notes here. I lack the understanding that art is hard work. And I don't want to put excuses to myself, but I have to show myself some grace. Life, it's not linear at all. Every day is a day where you feel like you either have energy to do something or you don't. And yes, people can psych themselves up to think the same every day because nobody ever wakes up the same every day. You have to find a middle ground or find a way to feel, oh, this is exactly what I should be doing today because I have that energy to do today. When you're a very busy person and you try to squeeze in so many things to do at once, you have to give yourself some grace. And that's why I don't pressure myself to do too much. I think I've tried that in the past. It didn't work. It didn't serve me at all. And being able to give myself some grace, like, hey, you know what? I know you wanted to do this, but you need to take a step back and take care of this instead. For me, my biggest, not worry, but my biggest challenge this last couple of months was my energy. Most of us have a job when we know that those type of responsibilities take away a lot of our energy, or they can actually help us get more energy once we're out of there. But for me, it's the opposite. I get mentally drained a lot. But it's just, you have to figure out that, yes, you want to put in all this, like, this is the type of person that you want to be. You want to be that person where I want to make art every day. I want to be artistic. I want to sell my art eventually. I want to make it a business. I want this. And it's great. Like that. I think that's great. But I think you also have to have days where you're like, you know what? Today is a day of rest. Today is a day of unwinding. It's a day of resetting. And that's why I say, like, you have to give yourself some grace because you can push yourself too far, but what would be the point of that? You know, I'm trying to always see the glass half full. After all, like, I have many responsibilities to handle in a day. That's the other thing too, is like you have to give yourself some joy to the little wins. Like the little wins, yeah, you have to give yourself some joys of your little wins. And anytime you finish a drawing, or you finish a sketching session, you finish a composition session, you finish a swatching session, I think you should just be proud of yourself for that. You probably didn't create the best, the most hype artwork that day, but you did something else. So, or you wrote about art, or you read a book about art. I'm just saying, the little wins do count, and the little wins do matter. And finally, I just wanted to show you those little wins that I created out of those little pockets of time and energy that I had in the last 3 months. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video and let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts? What are you struggling with in your art building skills? What do you feel you need to work on? And what do you feel had been the best solution for you? And I hope to get some comments down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.